because you know very well that in Nigeria today, if we are talking about the cardinals, those we can see walking around are Cardinal John on icon. And the second one is Peter Cardinal Opaleke. And Opaleke is not around any longer now. He left yesterday. So no parish in Auchi Diocese is having Cardinal Opaleke. So in the whole of the Bishops' Conference, the only cardinal we have present is Cardinal John. And Cardinal John is not in any of the parishes. He is here with you. Are you not fortunate? Not only that, in Nigeria today, you have one of the youngest bishops in town. And that is Bishop Me. So I am eight months old a bishop, only 8 months. So you have a youngest prince of the church and one of the oldest princes of the church. So you cannot be saying that this parish is blessed today. In the readings today, we have the first reading. Paul writing his second letter to the people of Thessalonica. And if you listen to the readings very well, what many people will pick is, if you don't work, don't eat. And theologians will ask, what made St. Paul to say that? And the same theologians will answer to say, Paul said this because in his letter, the first letter he wrote to them, he told them that Jesus will be coming very soon. And since Jesus will be coming very soon, everybody should get ready, so that by the time Jesus comes, everybody would have been ready to go with him. And because of this teaching of Paul to the Thessalonians, some people now say, if Jesus is coming very soon, there is no need for us to work. How can we work? Then tomorrow Jesus comes. Who is going to benefit from our own work? If we go to farm today and we are going to cultivate maize, maize will take 4 to 5 months before it is all right. So if we go and we cultivate maize and Jesus comes in the second month, who is going to take the maize? Nobody. So it's going to be useless. We don't want it to be useless. Therefore, no work. Let us relax and wait for who? For Jesus. And that was why in his second letter to the same people, he made it very clear in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 10. He told them that those who remain in idleness, those who will not work, they should not eat. Now, get the difference. There is a difference saying that those who do not work should not be given food. Paul did not say that. He said those who do not work should not eat. Now you and I, we know very well the kind of Nigeria we are living in today. There was one time president of Nigeria that accused the youth of what? Laziness. That the youth of Nigeria are lazy, they don't want to work. Of course, we know there are some people that will always relax, they will always remain in idleness, waiting for people to give them tips, waiting for people to dash them money. People like that will be classified as people who are guilty. Jesus accused them of what? Of being people who will decorate the outside, but their inside is dirty. And I think we have people like that. That when you come out as a Christian, it is not enough for people to see what you say outside, but what do you do when you are alone? What happens when you are on your own? It is not enough coming out to demonstrate to the people that this is who we are. We see you in the outside as somebody who is a Christian, a dedicated fellow, somebody we know to be always in the church, somebody who prays so well. But go to his family. Go and ask his brothers and sisters. Go and ask about him. What does he do? And I think this is applicable to us as church leaders too. If I stand here to talk to you about spirituality, I also need to have a retrospection to check myself. Am I also spiritual? If I tell you to avoid doing some things as your own leader, am I avoiding doing those things? I should lead by example. What I say to you, I should also practice it. I shouldn't be the one that will say, do as I say, but not as I do. I should lead by example. What did St. Paul say when he wrote his second letter to the Thessalonians? He told them, I have been working myself. I have been doing my jobs and getting things for myself. Did you see me being idle? No. So St. Paul led by example. And so as leaders of the church, we are also called upon to lead by example. Parents, teachers, brothers and sisters in our homes, we need to lead by example. You may be a leader in the church. You may be the father of your family. How do you lead? Do you lead by example, or you only tell them, do as I am telling you? A very practical example is the person we celebrate today. Our cardinal spoke beautifully about him, St. Augustine. St. Augustine was born and brought up in Africa. He was our very close brother. And so this was somebody who grew up, but he was involved in earthly things, earthly life. To use it, or to use as the language we understand, we can say that he was wayward. But he was trying to also get himself educated. In the church history, we know that he got involved in the heresy. The heresy of Marcionism. And not only that, he also went into Neoplatonism. All these things, he was seeking for the truth. T-R-U-T-H. He was seeking for truth. But in all this, he couldn't find truth. And while he was this wayward, his mother Monica, we celebrated her yesterday, she kept praying for her son. She said, whatever the journey will take me, whatever the difficulty I will encounter, I will continue to pray for my son. And she did. And when the time came, with her prayers, with the strong teachings of St. Ambrose of Milan, Augustine came back to his senses. He was baptized by St. Ambrose. He went into the he became a priest. He became a bishop. He became a doctor of the church. With that baptism in 387, he became so united and so enshrined in the life of the church. And I think this is a huge lesson to all of us. We have children, we have our brothers and sisters that we consider to be wayward. What do? We do not condemn them, no. We do not send them out of our homes, no. As we encourage them with words and deeds, we should also privately and in the deepest part of our hearts commit them to God. Pray for them. We all need prayers. Like St. Augustine, prayer got into him to the point of conversion. We need to pray for our brothers and our sisters, those we consider to be far away from God. We need to pray for their conversion. As Augustine was, yes, it may look as if our country Nigeria is close to that we need also to pray for our country Nigeria. It is not enough to keep criticizing, keep talking or saying ill things about our leaders. All we also need to do is to go on our knees to pray for them. God will convert them. God will change them. That when the right time comes, it will happen. But we also need to do our own job. Charity begins at home. Let us sanitize our homes. Let us purify our own environment, not physically, our hearts, by trying to live justly. When we are righteous, then our land will become righteous. I want to encourage all of you. As we celebrate St. Augustine today, all I need to say to you, to encourage us to learn from him, is that spirit of listening. He listened to the voice of God and came back to God. We also need to listen to God and leave those things we do that do not glorify God. The things we do that do not show that we are Christians. The things we do that do not identify our lives with Jesus Christ. Of course, life is hard, but it is not impossible for us to change. And I call upon you this evening that we have the capacity, we have all it takes to change, to take a new life, to encourage each other. From St. Paul, let us learn to also work. Let us be an example to other people, so that when I say don't do, I will be sure that I don't do as well. May God bless His words in our hearts.